Alright, there we are. We are back. And it's a time for Tier 3, Season 11, Round 1 of the season. Last week we saw the pre-season race at Zandvoort. Was quite a chaotic race. Let's hope we don't have that today. For bad one, but tonight we are arriving in Brazil for round 1 of the season. It's a new start, fresh start, and I am certainly looking forward to this race. You can always have great battles around here. It's in general a great track for racing. So we're gonna find out who is gonna win tonight, of course. Last week we saw quite a comfortable drive from Jesus, despite all the neutralizations during the race, the yellow safety cars, etc. But the reigning world champion still pulled it off and won the race over Josh Boschman, who started from pole position, and Tolu rounded out the podium in the end. And as you can see here in qualifying, it's quite overcast, quite cloudy. No rain in sight just yet. We're gonna see if it's gonna rain. That would certainly make things very interesting around Brazil. Paul's Ray going out immediately in Williams. Ferdy couldn't make it tonight, so Paul's Ray will be the teammate of Tolu for this race. And he's not the only one on track, because a lot of cars are already going out quite early, so is there rain in the air? Skinner is out, Sol, Haza, Zimniak, Madman, and Tolo as well, and Haza is out on the medium, so maybe that indicates that the rain is not coming. Or at least not in the early stages of qualifying. Let's take a look then on board Paul Stray, aka Orion Exotic, starting his first flying lap into the center S's, turns 1 and 2. It's very easy to get a track limit on this specific turn here. And it's full throttle on the exit onto the second DRS straight. Then down into the braking zone. Just be careful to stay within the white lines there as well. We now get on to the technical part of the lap. First a very quick right-hander. And down into a set of low speed corners. Running right up the curb. And you don't want to hit the grass on the outside of that turn under braking. It will send you spinning around quite easily, then flat out. And into the last corner. The last real corner, because the rest is flat out on this straight. DRS will open quite late. Here it is. And the run to the line, what is it going to be? A 1:8.212. That's a very solid first lap. But Skinner across the line, 1:7.8. What a banker lap that is. That's really quick for a banker lap. And Tolu goes even faster with a 1:07.797. Already in a 1:07.7, so that's already where what my time was yesterday in Tier 2. And I qualified in P12, so not a massive pace difference, that's for sure. If the banker laps are already into the 1:7s. Brennan has gone up to P4. also with a 108.2 ahead of the two V-Carbs and Madman. As Alpha Hype Wall has gone up into the top 3. Jumpy Painter into P5. Wait for the second Mercedes of Skullkiller up to P9. High up into the 108s. Josh Boschman, our pole sitter of last week, about to start his lap. Can he pull off the same magic as he did 1 week ago? Certainly does have tough competition though. And yesterday it was very close in qualifying, and the entire field was within 1 second of each other. I think the top 17 or something was within 5 or 6 tenths, so incredibly competitive, and in this tier it's always competitive. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get like the top 16, top 18 within a second of each other, if not less. More times on the board as we speak. Another purple second sector for Josh Boschman, just above the 52 second mark. Across the line, not quite into 1.7s, but good enough to put him into P4 with a 108.1. Wardy's lap time not the quickest, but he is on an improvement by over 7 seconds, but he is going flat out into the pit lane anyway. So that leaves 5 drivers yet to set a lap time. 2 of which are on an out lap, Carnotaur and Stelios. Zinyak has left the session. Once again, connection issues, it seems. Hope he gets back in time. Currently in pit lane, so he hasn't set a lap time yet. As Stelios has started his lap. Riding on board with the Aston Martin, Carnotaur is right behind him as well. Zinyak has rejoined, so that's good to see. Jesus is on the lap as well. Race winner and reigning world champion. That's a solid second sector for Stelios, so 51.6. That's around 3 to 4 tenths quicker than that Josh Boschman was, so he might be on for a front row, maybe even provisional pole position. Let's find out. The run to the line very close to the pit wall, across the line, and 108.0 in the end. But very solid effort, up into the top 3 already. Carnotaur across the line, only good enough for P14. Second off the pace on his personal best, or his first flying lap. So Zinyak once again has left. Jesus now in the middle sectors, a couple tenths down on what we just saw from Stelios, but he might have a little bit more ERS to play with in the final sector. Let's find out. Across the line, well, not quite. P9 it is for the reigning world champion after his first lap. That leaves 2 drivers at the lap time. One of them is Mahmoudev, and he is on a lap. About to finish this lap, in fact. Very close to the inside wall. And I think he invalidated it, didn't he? There's no lap time on the board. Oh, he did in the end. Just took a bit of a took a second before they got it through, but it's in P13. With a 0.7 108.7 that is. And Wardy is going to try again, currently 8.8 seconds off the pace. He can certainly go quicker. Probably did make a mistake on his lap or backed off. He's on an improvement in sector 1 already by 700ths of a second, so probably not the sector where he can gain the most, a bit slidey. Turn 6 I think it is. Now he's 7.5 seconds up. Can he find any more time? I would hope so. That wouldn't be enough for P18 across the line. He can certainly find a lot of time in the final sector. Up into the top 3, into the 107s. And a 0.8 good enough to put him into P3. Brennan with a minor improvement has put it up to P8. And it's very close there between P8 and P11, only 300ths in it. In the background we just saw Paul's Ray on a lap, 1.5 tenths already up in sector 1. We finally see Zimniak out on track, so issues have been resolved. And he's now going to attempt to set a lap time. Well, he's not going to attempt to set a lap time because he's been disqualified from the session for driving the wrong way. And it was it on pit lane? I'm not sure, but that's it's quite strange. And Paul's Ray is putting into the pit lane. He is not going to finish this lap. Has Shark with a big improvement as well into the 1.7s, into P4. Zimniak has left again. Apparently his game has crashed. Definitely having some issues with turning and braking as well, it seems, as Status is on an absolute flying lap, 1/10 up. Can he get himself inside the top 3? Right against the pit wall and across the line, and he goes inside the top 3 with a 2/10 improvement in the end, 0.04 of a second behind Tolu. That's a very good lap. And didn't even see, but Skinner I think has improved. 0.74, and he is now on provisional pole position. That's quite a big surprise. Carnator at the moment the only one outside of the 1 second margin, but I think he is on a personal best. Cross the line, and he is on a personal best up to P13. The 0.6 improvement. And Toto snatches back the professional pole position with a 107.6. And that's a pretty quick lap time. Pretty quick. Will it be enough though for pole position? Or does Skinner still have some time up his sleeve? Half a second up for Mahmudev. He's down in P19 at the moment. Now he is the only one outside the 1 second window, but he is obviously improving by quite a bit. With 4.5 minutes to go across the line, he goes into P13, just ahead of Carnotaur. And then it's Parsifal on the lap as well. Across the line, and he goes into P13. Only a couple thousandths of a second ahead of the Red Bull. Jumpy Painter and Pulse Ray, by the way, they've got the exact same lap time. So at the moment in P18. Teammates in P5, so I certainly wanted to get a bit higher up there. But I think he was on a good improvement through Sector 1. By a few tenths. He's not improving 2 tenths down. So is he going to pull back into the pit lane and put a new set of tires underneath his V-carb? No, he is continuing on. And it's not good enough to improve. Stays in P18 for now. Alpha Ball and Pulse Ray both on an improvement. Two McLarens are up there inside the top 6, both of them, and Alpha Ball looking for even more. Over a tenth of a second up on his time through the middle sector. Cross the line, and it is P5. Oh, P4 and P5 for the two McLarens. And what can Pulse Ray do? Currently P11, up to P7. Dots in behind Shark and ahead of Madman. Doing a decent job so far in the second Williams. As Soul Demon is gonna try it again. Has backed off 4 laps, saved the battery. Let's try and find an improvement once again as Skullkiller not improving either. Down in P19. Oh, that was a Red Bull, I think. Was a little bit in the way of Soul through turns 4. Right on the racing line. Bit dangerous, but no accident, fortunately enough. Only a marginal improvement by Soul, as Todo has retired from the session. He is not going to be improving. So it's up to the rest of them to try and beat his lap time. Can Soul find any time in the final sector? It doesn't look to be, not quite. Stays in 18th position and retires on track. That's not really what you want to see. And Jumpy Painter has jumped up to P4 right behind his teammate. And Skinner is about to start his lap. And same for Madman, that's one of the Alpines. More place across the line, finds an improvement, only 1 position up to P16 in the end. And Wardy to the front row with an improvement. Not good enough for pole position, but he is on the front row. Then we see Stelios across the line, and Stelios is on pole position with a 107.5 so far. Can anyone beat that lap time? Josh Washman is going into the pit lane. Parzival is on an improvement up to P11. Mahmudov is not improving. Rip Brennan can find some time up to P8. And Jumpy Painter is on the lap either. What can Skinner do? Can he go for pole position? No, he can't. He is backing off. And I think nobody else is on a real attempt for pole position. So that is Stelios on pole position with a 107.5, 28 thousandths of a second ahead of Tolu. Wardy in the end lines up in P3. And then it's Skinner in P4. Jumpy Painter in P5. Alpha Wall in 6th. Shark and Rebrennan 7th and 8th. Pulse Ray P9 and Madman rounds out the top 10. And that's the entire top 19 within 8 tenths. So very close here in tier 3 as well. But that's it then for qualifying. It's the Aston Martin of Stelios on pole position. With a very good lap. Josh Bushman lines up in P11 just ahead of the two Ferraris, and Jesus down in P13. Not where he wants to be. Winner of the last race was I think P2 or P3 on the grid. It's a bit further down this time. Can he find a way to get onto the top step on the podium? Would be very impressive. Mahmudov in P14, Carnator, more plays, Haza, Soul Demon, Skullkiller P19 and Simyak with issues lines up in P20. And I wonder if he's going to be able to race. And in a few minutes time we will get this race going as very clear and sunny skies for the race. No rain to be expected from what I'm seeing. Just the grid is separated by 8 tenths of a second. Should make up for a very good race. Let's hope. Looked like that Soul's retirement on track did affect someone. Josh Washman in this case. third V curve was right on the racing line. That is the risk of retiring on track. We've got 2 minutes until lights out. You see the top 3 are currently on the softs. Then we've got Skinner and Jumpy Painter both on mediums, and Alpha Ball has gone for the hards. So far, might change. You never know. Shark on mediums, and Brennan and Exotic or Pulse Ray both on soft as well. Then Madman, Josh Boschman and Parzival on mediums. Jesus on softs, and then quite a few on mediums. So and Zimniak on soft as well, and Skokider is on hard. So 2 drivers currently will be starting on the hard compound tire. Softs are possible, but they wear out very quickly, or they become quite slow very quickly. What I've noticed from the Tier 2 race yesterday. And I myself did the medium hard strategy. And it worked out fine, despite there being a safety car a little bit after the halfway point of the race. So we all switched back to mediums, but the softs die out after a lap of 10, so tire management is going to be important. See Todo switching to mediums and Wardy switching to hard, so who knows? There we go then. It's time for the 5 red lights. They're on. Stadia's on pole position, and the lights are out. And it's a good start from Stadias. He's on soft, so he does have the better launch. Todo immediately up into P2. Skinner is fighting it out with Wardy already. He was losing out 1 position to the Haas in the background. That's one of the 3 cars gone round, and it's Shark. He is spun halfway. Oh, and that's one of the sours into the wall. I think it was Carnator almost making contact with his teammate down on the second straight. And we see cars going off everywhere in this opening stage. Always a bit chaotic around Brazil, but everyone has seemed to make it through. See Brennan and Alpha Ball wheel to wheel. Brennan on the soft, Alpha Ball on the hard. So the Mercedes with the tire advantage into the braking zone. He's able to get ahead up to P6. That's a move up the inside, a very late move from Zimniak. He is racing, so that's good to see. He's on the soft as well. But Stelios leads as we go on to the second lap. He's got 6/10 to Todo, which is not enough to break the DRS gap. So we see Jumping Painter going wheel to wheel with Wardy. Who's going to have the DRS though? It is the Aston Martin. So nothing Wardy can do. So Brennan is looking up the inside almost as well. He's still down in P14. Did not have the best of starts on the softs as well. When everyone is in the DRS train, it's going to be difficult to overtake each other. As we see at the top end of the field, Skinner is already losing ground to the top 2. 1.3 seconds is the gap already to Todo. And Todo's doing everything he needs to do, and that's stay within the DRS range of Stadius, while the Aston Martin has the tire advantage. Into turn 1, bit of a contact between the two as Todo much later on the brakes. And side by side for P3 as well. Skinner just about able to stay ahead. But now Jumpy Painter with the DRS is able to get past, and that's up into P3. And that's a Brennan up the inside. Oh, that's a very late move there by Paul's way too aggressive on the brakes. And pushes his way past Wardy. It's now down to P7. And Parzival and Madman now going wheel to wheel as well. Always tricky to go side by side through these set of corners. Alpha ball in a Sauber sandwich, and a bit of teamwork between the two Saubers as Carnator is able to get past the McLaren. And Zimniak and Mahmoudev has gone off. Down to P19 and 20. Steelos in the lead, but this time Tolu is able to get past on the long straight. And Tolu takes the lead on lap 4. Jumpy Painter and Skinner swapping positions once again. Skinner having a look on the outside, but the Aston Martin shuts the door. Jesus now up into P12, has got past Alpha Ball, who's struggling a lot on the hards. And that's a cent and a half from Skoker up the inside of Sol. Nice move there, and up into P14 from the driver who started, I think, P19 on the grid. Yeah, 5 positions gained, more than anybody else. Carnator is up 4 as well, and Parzival both have gained 4 positions. And Brennan and Polsray both up by 3 as well as Sol. They're going at it once again into turn 1. Skinner is ahead of Jumpy Painter. Did he hit the back of the Haas? A bit of bodywork flying off, but now with the help of the DRS he's able to get past once again. And that's Jumpy Painter back into P3. Oh, Madman and Carnator going at it. Contact between the two. Almost sending both of them off into the grass. That could have ended much worse. Ooh, that's one of the Saubers round, and Josh Bosman has spun it going out of the final corner, or the penultimate corner. He's all the way down into P18. Pole position last week and second place in the race, but all this good work from last week has become undone already on lap 6, lap 5 of this race. He's down to P18, and in the meantime we see Rip Brannan getting a 5-second time penalty as Wardy and Polsray going at it once more. Wardy trying to go around the outside, bit of contact, but in the end Wardy gets the job done. Despite not having the tire advantage. So it must have been some sort of incident with Polsray that he lost so much time. Stadios in the meantime has retaken the lead as well. These two are just working together, re-overtaking each other every lap. And there we go, Toto once again into the lead. These two are not really working together because Skinner is getting past in the braking zone, but Jumpy Painter not done yet, and he will have the DRS, I think, for the second straight. Yes, he does. Is he going to go for the move? He is, up the inside and into the braking zone. The Aston Martin is ahead once again. And it seems like the softs are dropping off a bit underneath the Aston Martin of status, because the gap has now grown to over a second. And he does not have the DRS. That's great news for Tolu, who can now try and build a lead. As Skinner gets past Jumpy Painter once again. Parzival able to get past Paul's Ray into the braking zone. Trying to hang it around the outside, but that is not going to work. And that's the Williams down to P8. Meantime, Jesus is up to P9, so this race is starting to get alive. I'm looking at the back of Paul's Ray is all over the place. Parzival with the DRS on Brennan and gets past. On the main straight is now up into P6. These two once again going at it. Skinner on the inside and Jumpy Painter around the outside. Gets the job done or doesn't, and they make contact. They both go off, and round goes Jumpy Painter on turn 3. Contact between himself and Skinner, and Wardy has gone through into the top 3, but Jumpy Painter now all the way down into P17. That's so unfortunate. These two were battling it out all race long so far. He's going off once again. And in the end they came together. And Jumpy Painter is on the wrong end of it. So he's down in 19th position. Skinner is still in P4. Albeit with a 1.5 seconds gap to Wardy in front. Now try to start closing the gap to the cars in front on the hards. So Wardy is in a real shot of winning this race potentially, as Skinner is losing another position to Parzival this time. And that's Simniak. He has spun it out of the penultimate corner. Ooh, and that's a similar situation between Sol and Hassa, as it's just tangled together with the front and the rear tires. And they are sent down to P18 and P19, and Simniak has retired from the session. That's caused a virtual safety car, despite him being in pit lane. It's a bit strange, but alright. And that's the first retirement of the race on lap 10. Had issues already during qualifying, and I wouldn't be surprised if he still had issues during the race as well. As Carnator gets a 3-second time penalty underneath a virtual safety car. That's impressive. Not the right kind of impressive. Are we going to see anyone going into the pit lane? We do. Status from the softs is going to make good use of this virtual safety car. It's not the only soft runner to go in, as Brennan and Paul's Ray in as well. And Shark from the mediums is going in as well to switch his mediums, presumably to a set of hards. DRS enabled, virtual safety car has ended. Ooh. Immediately we see Parzival and Skinner going wheel to wheel, and Skinner is forced off the track a bit by the Ferrari. Still wheel to wheel bit with Parzival. He goes a little bit wide, and Skinner is able to get past into the braking zone up the inside. And he is back ahead. Tolu now built a 4.5 second lead over Wardy. Jesus, after all of that, it's up to P5. but he is still the only soft runner yet to pit. And he probably will have to do that under green flag conditions, so he will lose more time than the rest of them did. When they pitted underneath the virtual safety car, he's going to be under pressure from Carnator. Up the inside into turn 1, late on the brakes, and that's a position gained, and Carnator up to P5. Doesn't have the best exit though, and Jesus is going to try and get past once again with the re-overtake, and he does, so takes the position. In the meantime, Parsifal's got ahead of Skinner again. Three-second time penalty for Mahmoudev in the Red Bull. Actually not too many penalties so far on lap 12. 1/3 of the way through this race. Carnator once again getting past, and these two are going at it once again as well. Skinner now back into the top 3. There's Parsifal once again up the inside. He retakes the position again. Yellow flags are out, and I think that's Mahmoudev has gone off in turn 1. And it's dropped him down to P17. Jesus and Carnator swapping positions again as well. He's going to have to go again at the Ferraris in the Ferrari sandwich at the moment. He is going to make an end to that as he gets past Parsifal for the 5th time or something. And Carnator does the same into turn 1, getting past Jesus, but now Jesus will get back at him on the next straight. Parsifal stays behind, Jesus gets past. And back into P5. Second retirement of this race. Mahmoudev has retired in pit lane on lap 14. That's us down to 18 runners. With 22 laps to go. Another 3-second penalty, this time it's to Soul Demon. Hasn't had the greatest race so far, is down in P18 and last position, 11 seconds off his teammate in P17. As Haza has gone off in the final sector. It's not been a great day for the Red Bull squad anyway, with both V-Carbs and Red Bulls nowhere near the top 10. Not even inside the top 15 of the points paying positions. In the meantime, Jesus has pitted finally. He's gone on to a set of mediums to try and make it to the end of the race, but he has come out behind everyone who had pitted underneath the virtual safety car. That being Boss Ray Brennan, Stadios. But he is ahead of Shark though, so that's one position. P16 it is, as Boss Ray up the inside of Brennan, and he's now up to P13. Gaps 3 seconds to more place, who is still out there on his hearts. one of the few drivers who started on hards. As the race leaders into the pit lane, Toru on lap 16 is going to switch from mediums to hards. And where is he going to come out? Compared to Stelios, who is now going into turn 1, I think Stelios is going to be ahead. And yeah, so Stelios with the undercut takes the virtual race lead, but not by much, as Toru comes out around a second behind his rival in this race. You have to try and stay within that 1 second though, while trying to warm up the tires on his out lap. But that's now given the race lead to Wardy on track. 20 laps to go. Skinner and Parzival both going into the pit lane as well. Surprised nobody has got a 10-second penalty from speeding in pit lane yet. We saw it a lot more yesterday during the Tier 2 race. Lots of drivers going in. Skinner, Madman, so that's it. Both Haas drivers into the pit lane on the same lap. That's not really well timed for the American team. And Jumpy Painter, has he had a moment once again? So temporarily yellow flags in the first 2 corners. Toru's right behind Stelios. He's got the tire advantage, 5 laps newer hard compound tires. Garneter into the pit lane, and that leaves the 2 McLarens out in 1 and 2. Both of them started on the hards. 7.5 seconds separating them, as Toru has taken the virtual race lead away from Stelios on lap 18 of this race, halfway into the race. And Toru is back in front of Stelios. And Pos Ray and Brandon P5 and P6 with their early pit stops. Looking not too bad at all. On to a potential very good result. This is in P8 in quite a bit of clean air. He's going to have to bring these mediums a long way to the end of the race. So he can't push too hard to try and close the gap. Little look up the inside into turn 1 by Stelios. Is he going to have a go on this straight though? He's got little ERS in the battery, but he's got the DRS and the slipstream to help him get alongside and into the braking zone. He will be ahead, and Stelios has retaken the virtual race lead, and Wardy's going to hope that these two keep fighting. On to lap 20, and when are the McLarens going to pull into the pit lane? Are they going to go to mediums or are they going to go to softs as Todo once again gets past Stelios on the main straight. More place is into the pit lane. He was the third and final driver who has started on the hards. Putting on a set of mediums. Well, that's damage to the front wing of Skinner. I didn't see what happened there, but that is gonna affect him negatively. Down in P9 at the moment. Probably will be 8th when Alpha wall pits. That's quite unfortunate for the driver who started, I think, 2nd place. Today as Wardy, race leader, has pulled into the pit lane. His teammates going in as well. Double stacking from the McLarens. But 7.5 seconds between them should be alright. A visual glitch, but Wardy going out on the hards. Bit of a delay for Alpha wall. Wardy gonna come out ahead of this massive train. Led by Parsifal, he is. So Wardy has some clean air and can try closing the gap to the top 5. Alpha Wall has come out in P14, but he's got clean air as well. And he can start to close the gap to this massive train all the way up to P7. At the moment, Paul's race in P3. Double podium it looks like for Williams so far. Up 6 places, Jesus in P4, 9 places gained. And the race is definitely where it matters, not in qualifying. I can speak from experience myself. Meanwhile, they swap positions at the front end again. Stados now retakes the lead on lap 22. In both races we've done so far in Tier 2, the pre-season race, and the round 1 yesterday here in Brazil. I started from P12, but finished both races in 2nd place, so it's really all about the race pace. I think Jesus is a good example of that as well. Especially last season, he has been a bit slower in qualifyings, but he's always there in the races. And that's definitely important in a championship fight. He changed once more. Todo has retaken the lead on lap 23, fastest lap of the race to Wardy with 109.7. He's closed the gap already to Brennan, who is struggling to hold on to the DRS of Jesus. Yellow flags are out, and I think it was a bit of a moment for Soul Demon. Hazard spit for a set of softs. In the meantime, Wardy has got past Brennan in the middle sector. He's now at the P5. Can he close the gap to under a second to Jesus before the end of the lap? He certainly can. And he's now right with Jesus and Paul's Ray. But the gap to the top 2 is still 6 seconds, so that's going to be a challenge to close that gap. At the moment, he's certainly got the pace to do so. And there goes Jesus. He cuts past Paul's Ray on lap 24, and Jesus is now into the podium positions. And does he have the pace or the tires to close the gap to the two in the front? And Boydie's got past Paul's Ray as well, who's left the session. And he's not the only one. Jumpy Painters left at the same time, so... Is there some sort of glitch in the lobby? Oh, big slide from Wardy right at the back of Jesus, losing the back end. That is very unfortunate for Paulsbury, who was in such a good position, but now getting disconnected. While his teammate retakes the lead. And Wardy gets past Jesus, and now Wardy is back into the top 3. And can he close the gap? 5.8 seconds to Stelios with 12 laps to go. Haven't seen any messages in chat. Well, Paulsbury has rejoined again. Still in P5. Jumpy Painter down to P15. Now the fast lap of the race to Haza on soft. What has gone on between Skinner and Carter? They have both gone off. And they have collided and down to P12 and P13 respectively. Not been the day for Skinner so far. He had a very good qualifying. Now in the race he is falling down the order. I think Paulsbury is back in control of his cars, down to P6. But top 5 is still certainly possible. He's right behind Rip Brennan. Turn 1, Skokiller and Shark going wheel to wheels. Shark able to stay in front. Skokiller keeps his nose in on the inside. Has to back out in the end. But he is in the top 10. Solid comeback drive so far from 19th on the grid. And Bordy is closing the gap. Down to 5 seconds with 10 laps to go. Is it gonna be enough? And for how long will the tires last, as Haza is out of the race as well? Both Red Bulls not scoring points. As Toto retakes the lead on lap 26 going on to 27. Painful to see both Red Bulls out. As it is the team that I'm competing for myself, so not a great start to the season. Three-second time penalty for Carnator, and he is under pressure from Alpha Hype Wall. Whoa, whoa! I can understand the confusion there for Madman, because it was the retired car of Haza coming out of the pit lane. And Madman wasn't quite sure if the Red Bull was ghosted or not. It was, fortunately enough, but it did cause Carter to run right into the back. But fortunately it seems like no visual damage to the kick Sauber. He's able to get past as well as R5 Ball. Madman now down to P14. Another second gained by Wardy, down to 4 seconds now. And he's dragging Jesus alongside with him. Got 6 lap older tires, but still very much has got the pace as Paulsbury gets past Brennan into turn 1. And is now back into the top 5. Boschman now as well with a 3-second time penalty. Brennan having half a look up the inside, but backs off. stays behind for the time being. Softs go underneath the Visa Cash App RB. Down in P17, Soul Demon. Did not have a great qualifying. Is not having any luck in the race as well. He went off with Haza a couple of laps ago. Second penalty for Madman as well. In the meantime, Tolu has created a gap to Stadios, and that might be very important for the race win. Or not. Because Wardy can probably overtake Stadios with ease, because Stadios will not have the DRS, while Wardy does if he closes the gap. So Tolu is going to hope. He's going to have to hope that Stadios holds these drivers up long enough for him to build a big enough gap to keep his lead and win this race with 7 laps to go. Josh Westman up to P7. Brennan now down to P8. One big train of cars. Skinner going wide, and Alpha Ball gets through. Up to P11, Skinner up the inside. Ooh, not really a place you want to go for an overtake. Had a look up the inside, but Alpha Ball closing the door and managing to stay in front. As Soul Demon's gone off, unable to get the fastest lap of the race. Had a moment as well. Parsifal gets past Paul's rail on a very tactical corner of this track. Ooh, Stadios has gone off, I think. Bit of dirt on his tires, he's down 2 positions. Both Jesus and Wardy are able to get past. The gap's now 3.8 to Tolu in the lead. Can they close the gap? With under 6 laps to go. And Brennan and Polstra seem to be struggling on these very old hard tires. They slowly start dropping down the order. P7 and 8 now. Josh Bushman has got ahead of both of them. P6 is Skoker trying to go the long way around the outside of Shark, but the RB is able to stay in front. So now Soul Demon has retired as well on lap 31. Fourth retirement. Ooh, big contact between Skoker and Alpha Ball, and Alpha Ball in the end gets past. That wasn't without a bit of wheel banging between him and the Mercedes. Skoker pulls to the outside, but the McLaren is able to stay in front. A big scrap there for the final position inside the top 10. Skinner up the inside now, and he is able to get past as well. So we saw Parsifal and Josh Bushman fight it out for P5. And Parsifal has got the position. Looks to be a good result for the Ferrari team. Postray almost having a look at 10-second time penalty for Skinner for ignoring yellow flags. It's gonna make his day even worse. Probably over taking under yellow flags because of the retard Soul Demon getting out of the pit lane. 3 seconds is the gap still with 4 laps to go. I think it's not going to be enough for Wardy and Jesus to try and win this race. Toto is just a little bit too quick for them to close the gap. Stelios is unable to match the cars in front as well. 22 lap old hearts. Skorker has lost out big time, he's down to P13. But there are cars in front who have got a time penalty, so he can gain positions with that. Josh Bushman right underneath the rear wing of the Ferrari in front, and Kick Sauber gets past. But Josh Bushman unfortunately has got a 3-second time penalty. Which will probably put him down to P8 or if he's lucky P7, because Alpha Ball is not within the DRS range. And Skorker has gone off in turn 2. Has he spun or did he get help spinning? Did he make contact with someone? There's no damage to his front wing, but that has ruined his chances of any good result. He's not the only one who's gone off. I think we saw another yellow flag there. Skinner having issues once again as well. Oh, there is damage to the front wing of Skokiller. The right hand side end plate is missing on the front wing. Oh, what's happened to Josh Bushman? He's gone off again in this race. That's the second time we see the Kick Sauber into the grass. At the beginning of this race he went off in this corner here. And he's gone off again on the penultimate lap of this race. Or lap 34. He's all the way down to P9. And it's not getting any better than that. He's up the inside, goes Brannan into turn 1 having a look. Not able to get past, but not another bottle job by Josh Bushman in the end. Brannan does he get past on the second straight. Penultimate lap of the race, the gap is still 3 seconds from Tolu to Wardy, so it's going to be Wardy versus Jesus for P2 in this race. I'm surprised that Jesus is still holding on 20 lap old mediums. We head on to the final lap of this race. And Jesus is waiting for probably that final straight. They both have got a full battery, so he's gonna have to be very close to the back of the McLaren going on to the final straight of the final lap. Oh, and that's off. Josh Bushman has gone off again. He's all the way down to P14. Maybe even P15. A bit of contact between Alpha Ball and Shark, fighting it out for P7. But who is gonna get that P2? Toto is heading into the penultimate corner. He is gonna win this race. Battled all race long with Stelios. and then pulled a gap and didn't look back, and Tolu is going to come across the line to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, and boy, he has done enough to take second place ahead of Jesus with a very good comeback drive from P13, I think it was on the grid. Status in the end has to take P4, Parsifal P5 on the line, just ahead of Pulsray P6, and Alpha Ball gets ahead of Shark by 34 thousandths of a second. Bannon in P9, and then it's Madman in P10, Skulker to P11, Carnotaur P12, Jumpy Painter in P13, but what a drive that was from Tolu. A very impressive race. Looks very comfortable all race long. And Jesus is a very deserving driver of the day, P13 to P3 from the reigning world champion. But Tolu is victorious and will be the championship leader after this race. We see the podium celebrations. There is the final result. Both Ferraris with an incredible comeback. Wasman in the end P14, more place P16, P15, and Skinner P16. Fast lap to Haas, but will not get a point for that. That's it for tonight. Round 1 complete. And 11 rounds to go. And next week we'll be back in Silverstone. Thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.